Happy Friday and welcome back to another episode of FNL Fridays. I'm your host, Teresa, and today I am teaching you how to make one of my favorite breakfasts, and that is overnight oats with chia seeds and nuts. This is a really simple recipe to make, and it's really easy to make it for the entire week, so you can make 5 to 7 of them in probably 15 minutes, and then just leave them in your fridge after you're done making them. Let them sit at least overnight. And then throughout the week, you can have one every morning. It's super fast, super easy, and it's also really tasty. The first thing you're gonna need are some steel cut oats. I prefer steel cut just because they have a more chewy, dense texture than processed oats. So I like these because they're much more satisfying to eat as opposed to rolled oats. But if you only have rolled oats, that's totally okay. Just know that your overnight oats are probably going to be a little more mushy as opposed to these, which would be a little more dense and chewy. You're also going to need chia seeds. They have black and white chia seeds. I have black chia seeds, so that's what I'm using, but you could use either one. You'll need some sort of plant-based milk. I really like soy milk because it has more protein than the other plant-based milks, and this is also organic. I buy this at Costco. It's vanilla flavored, so it's got just a little bit of sugar added to it. And like I said, the protein in soy milk is higher than the protein in other plant-based milks, so that's why I choose this one. You'll also want some nuts, whether that's walnuts, almonds, peanuts, totally up to you. I'm actually going to be using mixed nuts here today because that's what I have, but you can totally do this however you want to with whatever you have on hand or whatever you prefer. The last thing, which is sort of a secret ingredient that I use, is maple extract. And I use this because I like the flavor of maple, but I don't necessarily want to add the sugar that comes with maple syrup. So I put a couple of drops of this in, and it gives it that essence of maple without all the added sugar. So the first thing you're going to do is you need to either get your Tupperware or your glass jars or whatever it is that you're going to be putting your overnight oats in. I'm just using this clear glass just so you can see what it looks like, but generally you're going to want something with a lid on it. You're going to take 1/3 cup of uncooked steel cut oats and just add that to your container. After that, you're going to just add your nuts. Like I said, I'm doing a tablespoon. I really just add this because I like the extra crunch that it gives it, so it's totally up to you. But just remember, keep in mind that nuts tend to be kind of higher calories, so it's safe to start with just like a tablespoon. That way you're not eating a ton of calories in one meal, because we're also adding chia seeds, and those have a lot of fat in them as well. So just kind of paying attention to how much of each thing that you're putting in here. The next thing you're going to add is a tablespoon of chia seeds, and these are very tiny. They can spill all over the place, so be careful with these. You're just going to add that right on top. And if any of you guys ever had a chia pet back in the day, these are the same things. Chia seeds have like an outer shell that absorbs a lot of water when it gets wet. So once you add the liquid to this, you'll notice that they kind of swell up and almost turn gelatinous, and they get this gel-like film around them. So it's kind of interesting to see that, but just so you know that that's totally normal, and that's kind of how chia seeds work. While chia seeds do have some protein in them, they have about 3 grams per tablespoon, they're more fat-based. So I like to add these to kind of balance out the carbohydrates from the oatmeal. So I have a good amount of carbs from the oatmeal, and then I'm balancing that out with the fat so that when I eat it, I'm digesting it slower because the fat kind of slows down the absorption and the digestion of those carbohydrates. The last thing you're going to do is add 3/4 cup of soy milk or your plant-based milk to the mixture. A lot of those chia seeds are going to float to the top. You want to make sure that you mix those in so that they all get covered with liquid. That way you make sure that they absorb the liquid that you're adding in. After you mix everything up, you're just going to add your maple extract, and of course you can use any extract you want to, so vanilla, anise, orange, lemon, whatever you want to add. Like I said, I just really love the essence that maple gives this without all the added sugar. So I'm going to add a couple of drops here and then give it one more mix, and then you are all set. So it's all mixed up here. I'm just going to go ahead and cover this up, put it in the fridge at least overnight, and you'll have breakfast all week. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. I would love to hear what you think if you make it, so make sure to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, and I will talk to you next Friday.